Good morning, YouTube. Reseller Mom here. Today I have a special video on what you need to start an Amazon FBA business. Now, I'm going to go through two kind of lists here. One being everything that you absolutely really need, and one that, products that I like and make my job easier. There we go. So today is Thursday, November 17th, 2016. So requirements could change. Definitely always go to Amazon.com and make sure that you have the most up-to-date information. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to read off everything on my list of you absolutely need, and then I'll go through one by one. Amazon seller account, that's a must. Computer, smartphone, scanning app, a printer, paper for the printer, and labels, both FBA labels and shipping labels, a scale, a box, packing tape, and some knowledge. So let's go through each one of these individually. First one up is an Amazon seller account. Now, what I recommend is if you are thinking about this business and you're not quite sure, go ahead and sign up for an Amazon seller account and do the basic no monthly cost one. When you start going as a business, though, you'll want to pay the $40. Now, here's what. If the basic free one charges you 99 cents per listing, and if you just want to do a one-off or you want to have access to the scanner and kind of see if this might be the right business for you, go ahead and do the free one, and it's not costing you anything yet. If you want to sell just one high-end item, say you got a computer piece or a TV or some high-end dollar thing and you want to throw it into the Amazon warehouse and have it sell that way, paying 99 cents to sell a $200 item, not that big of a deal. That's a really good, way to get into it. But once you start selling things, paying 99 cents a piece for them is not going to work. I ship in between 400 and 800 items a month, and I can't pay 99 cents a piece. I will pay the $40 to have unlimited listings. That's a no-brainer. Next up, a computer and a smartphone. You really do need a computer and a smartphone. If you don't have these items, yes, you can share with somebody. The library has free computer access time. It's something that if you are just starting off, you can kind of gimp by, but it's really helpful. It's kind of like having a car when you have a job. Yes, you can ride the bus, and sometimes you can really make it work. However, if you're changing jobs a lot or have a job that needs a car, it's very hard to get by without a car. Can you do it? Sure. Is it helpful to have as a business? No. So you need to look into having a computer and a smartphone. These are usually things that most people have, but if you don't have them, I understand, and you can always work your way up to getting them, and I've seen a lot of people do a lot of things with a lot less in life. Okay, scanner app. The Amazon offers a free scanner app. I highly recommend the free one before you dive into anything more serious that requires a monthly fee. I've been using the free Amazon app for a year and a half, and I like it. It's good for me for starting out. Now, I am looking to upgrade my scanner app into something else that's going to up my business, up my speed, and allow me to do more scanning in less time. Now, when you're just starting out, you need to really look at listings and look at ranking, and it takes you a lot longer to make decisions. So having a fast app, if you set it up wrong and start using it wrong and you have just one thing incorrect in there, you didn't know that a certain setting meant something else, you could really get yourself into a hole really quick. Not to mention you're then adding a monthly cost to your business, and you want your startup cost to be very low. I didn't mention it before, but you can really start up an Amazon FBA business, less than $1,000. You can probably do it for a lot less than that, but definitely under $1,000. If you're taking more than $1,000 to start up an Amazon business, you're not starting it up very right, or you just have a lot of capital to blow, and I wish I was you. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about printers. Printers are another thing that you can kind of get away with. I've had my printer go down and I've had to, call up a friend. Hey, I can print some stuff out. My library allows you to print 75 papers out every month, I think it is. So in a pinch, I have backup. My backup is I have a spare printer in the garage, I have my friend, and I can go to the library. you want to have a printer that you're printing off of. Now, I print shipping labels on regular paper, and I also print out when I buy supplies. I print receipts and stuff, so it's good to have just regular paper. And then let's talk about the other papers that you need here. Address labels. Now, you have to have either a heat thermal printer or a laser printer. You cannot have an inkjet. The reason for that is the labels have to stay on for 24 days or something like that. They can't rub off. And if you have the inkjet, the label is going to rub off. And when your shipment lands there, it will rub off. And then they're going to slap your wrist. They may charge you for the printing fee. That's the other thing. You can pay 20 cents a piece and have Amazon label it. That's completely possible. And if you're just starting out and you're waiting for orders to show up, or you're waiting for your shipment to come in, you may just suck it up and pay that 20 cents. Again, I don't recommend it, but what was it? I had my house flood, and so I was in a hotel, and I couldn't get the hotel printer to print. One of the options was I could have just signed up and had Amazon do the labels for me that week. Okay, so address labels, I just use the Avery. This one's 8160. I don't have any of the other ones out here, but it's the one that's 30 here and 10 across. So you print out 30 labels at once. These work for me. Now, the other printers out there, the Dymos and the Zebras, I've heard a lot of great things about it. If I were to start over and I had a lot of capital, I'd probably go with either a Zebra or Dymo. Again, you can look at forums if you're looking to invest into a printer, but basically you need to print out labels, shipment plans, or just basic paper, and then also shipping labels. Now, I ship everything through UPS. That's the standard for Amazon. If you go to Amazon.com and create a free business account, you enter in your name and all your business information, they will give you 50 of these free a month. That's your cap. You get 50 free a month. And they're exactly what you need. Yes, you can print this out on paper and just tape it to the box. This is not a necessity, but it is very, very good to have, and I would highly recommend these. They're free. They peel and stick. They're easy. You just can't go wrong there. Okay, I don't recommend spending money on here. So far, if you have a computer, printer, and smartphone, you've spent $0 so far looking into this business. Next up is a scale. For 3 months, I used my bathroom scale. I got on that scale, wrote down my weight, picked up the box, stood on the scale, wrote down the weight, subtracted the difference, and boom, I had my weight. I also always added 1 pound because I didn't know if my, when you go to UPS store, they'll weigh it for you too. You can weigh whatever you want there for free, but then you'd have to drive back to the house and print out the label. So by doing that, I knew that my scale was off about 1 pound, so I'd always add 1 pound. Now that is adding a little bit to your shipping thing, but I didn't have a better scale. So again, I made it work, and after 3 months, I'm like, time to invest in a scale. And I did a little bit of research, and I'll show you the scale I bought. So after looking at several things, I bought this one. I want to say it was $35. It is an Accutech, and it's one of the Post ones. It goes from 110 pounds. See that? What is it? 110 pounds max. It has this crazy flip out thing that I've never used. I don't ever use that. I guess if you were weighing very small things, you could. I like that you can, there we go. You can turn it on and it's got a timer. It will auto shut off when you're not using it. Here's the back if you wanted to pause and look it up. Yeah, they still sell these. It's not wanting to because I'm holding it. There we go. It's got a 0 out. But it has a power. It has a 0. It can do pounds, ounces. You can change it between kilograms and pounds. So it's very, very handy. It's my all-around go-to. The reason I like the corded part is because if you have a big box, you can set it on the ground. You still have this. You can pull it out, weigh out, and still see it. When you have ones that are connected like this and you put a box on top of it, sometimes it's on the ground. You can't see it very well. So that's what I would recommend. I like this scale. Really no problems with it whatsoever. Next up is boxes. Again, this is something you can get for free. I hit up the school, local businesses, recycle boxes. When we were in the temporary apartments, there was tons of boxes they gave me for free. I really cleaned up there. Found one in the recycle bin at Value Village yesterday, so I nabbed that. My husband's work, a couple friends' work will get me boxes if I need boxes. The lunch lady at the school will give me boxes. Okay, but say you don't have any of that. Walmart is the cheapest box. They are not the most stable boxes, but if I go to Walmart and buy boxes, I really like the 14 by 14 by 14. It's a good sturdy box, or steady box. It's small enough that it doesn't, it's not going to collapse in, but I wouldn't want to be shipping a hippo in it. The other box there, 16, 16, 16 is also my go-to box. I like those two boxes. And then the other one they sell there is the 18, 18, 24. Now, you can't really go over 25 inches or you will get slapped on the wrist. So you want boxes that are under 25 inches unless you have an item that's over 25 inches long. Then you don't get in trouble for it. Okay, so the next up would be Home Depot and Lowe's sell boxes for a pretty good price. Lowe's usually has boxes too they'll give you for free if they're unpacking stuff. You gotta be nice to the staff there. So you can get boxes in those 3 locations. Those are my go-tos if I need to go buy a box. Next up, packing tape. Get yourself a gun. It's kind of like having your own printer and stuff. You can get by with trying to tape without a gun, but you will get frustrated soon. So it needs to be on your short list of supplies to get. Now, I find guns all the time at Value Village. So, if you don't have a gun and you don't have, what are they, like 20 bucks, 10, 20 bucks to get, keep your eye out and you will come across them within the first couple of weeks. Tape, necessity. You got to tape your boxes shut. There's no way to get out of that expense at all, period. You need packing tape and that. Next up is knowledge. So if I were starting this business off, what I would recommend to you, what I am recommending to you, is download the free app and start scanning around and seeing what products you're coming across. Take a day, take an afternoon, an evening, and go spend an hour or two at a thrift store or at a Walmart or at a Target scanning the clearance. You don't have to buy anything, but you need to go out there and get some knowledge for your area. My area has really good thrift stores, so that's the spot that I went to. I started out with books. I highly recommend starting out with books. They're, foolproof. They don't cost much. They're easy to obtain. They don't break. There's no extra packing you have to do. The numbers are quite easy to read on the, when the numbers come up, there's no funny business to them. It's not seasonal. They're just a really good category to start in and get your feet wet. They also, I had a bunch of books laying around the house that I started with. I just went around the house and started scanning and going, okay, how does this work? What can I do? I went and I scanned like everything in my pantry, scanned all my books, scanned anything with a barcode on it, the Tide, the Bounce, box of cereal, trying to see, how do I work this app? And get yourself knowledgeable on that. Watch YouTube videos, watch how-tos. There's tons and tons and tons of info out there that will tell you how to read it, what makes a good buy, what doesn't make a good buy. But in the end of the day here, you need to sit down with a piece of paper and say, this is how much money I have to invest in equipment, invest in product, and how I want my business to roll. Within the first couple of weeks of starting up, I sat down and said, okay, this is how much money that I would like to start my business, because I, have a husband and kids and we don't have money flying out all over the place. So I think it was about $500. I said, I can start this at $500 and then I need to reinvest the capital for at least 6 months. And that was my business plan. Now, I'm not saying you need to copy me at all, but sit down and make out what works for you. My friend who started went on Facebook and hit up all her friends for free books. Hey, do you have any books? I'm looking to start a business and it involves reselling books. If you have anything, I'll come by your house and pick them up. No questions asked, whatever you have. So people would give her all sorts of books. Now, half of them were scannable and able to be put into the inventory, and the other half were junk, and she was able to donate them and get the 30% off coupons and then buy some more books that way and spend very little capital getting some books. however you want to do it, go ahead and set up your plan and be comfortable with how much you're doing there. I recommend spending no more than $500 on startup capital. Really, that's a pretty good chunk of change that will get you rolling fairly fast if you spend it wise. Sure, you can spend more, you can send in more, but the last thing you want to do is buy a whole bunch of stuff and get overwhelmed and not be able to send it in, or get caught up in mistakes and wind up with a bunch of returns or dead stock in your house. That would certainly put a stop to a startup business. All right, next up we're going to talk about things that I recommend. Things that I can't get along with on a weekly basis without. First up is my favorite product. One of my favorites. I have two favorite products. Goo Gone. This stuff gets rid of any of those nasty stickers that are going to be on any of your thrift store stuff. Now I say thrift stores because thrift stores have a variety of stuff. Really great return on your money. When you do retail arbitrage, you're buying things for we'll say $10 and selling them for $20, $30 and making, profit, but not as much as when you buy them at the thrift store for $1 and selling it for $20, $30. Your margins are a lot wider and your investment capital is a lot less. But with that comes stickers. So recommend Goo Gone. Now this is the jelly kind. It's not the, there's like a more liquidy kind. This is the gel. I recommend the gel. The reason being is if you have the liquid, sometimes it runs off and it will get around edges and parts that you don't want it on. The gel stays more towards on your sticker. Next up is my other favorite product, Sprayway Glass Cleaner. I can find this at Lowe's, Home Depot, Sam's Club, Walmart, Target, Safeway, Fred Meyer's. Yeah, just about everywhere sells this stuff. This stuff is phenomenally good. I use it at home on my windows, on my stainless steel, and I use it on all my products. Now, I spray a rag most of the time, like 90% of the time. I spray a rag and wipe things down. Whether they come from a Target or a thrift store, I usually like to wipe things down. You never know what kind of dust or dirt, I just give it a quick wipe. It's very easy. Doesn't leave residue, doesn't smell bad, doesn't give me a headache. Love this stuff. Now again, these are two products you can get away with out for a while, but after you sit there and peel some stickers, you're going to be wanting these guys real quick. Next up, nail polish remover from the dollar store. It's acetone. Now I don't put this on everything because it can ruin your product if you're not careful with what the heck you're putting it on. You've got to be very careful. I use this is my last ditch effort to get a label off, really. But sometimes it comes in handy. Also with, sometimes people will write Sharpie marker on things, and there you go. Next up is IPA, isopropyl alcohol, just rubbing alcohol. Again, dollar store. So, if you're starting up your business and you're getting rolling, these aren't things that I would say buy like day one, but, make a stop into the dollar store and grab some things. Next up, a big fat black marker. On the outside of your shipping boxes, sometimes you have to black out the barcode. Now you can put a sticker over the barcode, you can use a pen or a pencil or whatever, but I like these big sharp markers. Again, you can get usually something equivalent at the dollar store. You're just blocking out the barcode, so it doesn't have to be anything super fancy, but it does come in handy. Next up, my knife. I use my knife for a lot of things. This one's really cool because it has a mermaid on it, and I love mermaids. You can get knives on Amazon for about $10. As a woman going out, sometimes late at night, and I'm at the school a lot, and just out and about a lot, I like having my knife on me. I open a lot of boxes coming in. I get a couple Amazon deliveries several times a week, plus other things. I order a lot of stuff on Amazon. The knife just comes in really handy, so I love having my knife on me. All right, all these products are not like in a specific order. I wouldn't say, get one without the other. Just kind of start your business and see what you need and then slowly add these items to it. Warning labels. Go ahead and print yourself out some warning labels. I just use these, but if you want a roll of them, they're really not that expensive either. You can get, for $10, you can get a roll of a kabillion or something. I haven't bought any because I haven't really needed them that much, but I just printed one out. That comes in handy when I need to have something with a warning sticker on it, which brings me to my poly bags. So I now buy the ones with the warning sticker already printed on there. Let me tell you, this is so much better than trying to print them out. This was definitely one of the things that I quickly upgraded to. It's also a self-seal. Now this is 11 by 14, and I would say 11 by 14 is my most go-to bag. My 9 by 12 is my next one, and then I can't read it from here, but I have 8 by 10s, and I have one that's smaller than that. I got a 4-pack without the self-seal. I got a 4-pack that had the warning sticker with no self-seal, and I believe they need to be 1.5 mils thick, so make sure you're within spec. And again, look these up because what I say today could be different tomorrow. So just go to Amazon, look up the specs, and then go shopping on Amazon and see what you can get. So a 4-pack with 400 bags, 4 different sizes, runs about $35. That's the first thing that I would just get a variety pack and then see which ones you use more. So I use the 11 by 14s and the 9 by 12s the most. So I went ahead and upgraded and bought the little bit more expensive with the self-seal and this. And it does save me a lot of time and headache, and it just looks a little bit more professional. So I really, really like those. For cleaning products, highly recommend the microfiber rag. I love my rags. You can get them at the dollar store. Just a nice thing to have if you were setting up shop here. I've got my tape measure. This is almost a must. I mean, you can get away with a ruler. I have my little ruler here. It says mine, not yours. That's good for small things, but if you're measuring boxes that are up to 25 inches, these cost you a couple bucks. Walmart, go into the sewing section, or Target into the sewing section. I believe they're called like a fabric tape, I think. I like the plastic one. It puts up with a lot of heck. It doesn't bend or tear. It can get twisted around. And if I get marker or something on it, if I get marker or dirt, I can just take my rag and I can clean it. So I like that one. Next up are some stickers that I upgraded to this year that I recommend once you get going. And I went in on a friend. This says, this is a set, do not separate. When you have small things that need a box, I recommend putting these on. You can print these out just like the warning labels. You can print them out. It was $6.36 for 2,000 of these. Really not that bad of a price. But when you're starting up, capital is a thing. And these are things that I did not buy at first. I waited until I had a lot of capital coming in, and then I'm like, okay, this would really help me out. I like these. The other thing I have is, I don't know if I can peel one off. These are little round stickers that if you have a product that these stickers have come off or been damaged, you can go ahead and take them off and reapply them. So that comes in handy too. I like having those in my drawer because I do use them about once a week, I would say, to put together things. Now, boxes to pack things into, I do use smaller boxes when I have stuff to go in them. What have I packed up? I have a 2 set of glass beer glasses. There we go. Beer glasses. I have a variety of boxes that I buy out in the garage. I have a 4x4x8 that comes in handy. A 4x6, 4x6x5. I think that comes in really handy. Just look up some cheap boxes and what products you're coming across, and you'll eventually start building up your boxes. I have a 4x4x4 that I like, 6x4x4, so I have a variety of boxes. So when I do come across something that needs to be boxed, I can box it up. I did not buy boxes to box things up for a good 6 to 9 months. So that is something like down the road you want to think about. It's good to have all these things in your mind and kind of make a list. I would make a list of things that are products that you think you might need, and then have that list by your work area. And after you've, been working for a couple of weeks, look at that list and kind of start circling the things that would help you out the most. I know that, I didn't buy separation stickers until just this year, a couple months ago. And it was one of those things that every time I had to go print out separation stickers, I'm like, oh, I should just bite the bullet and pay $6. So I was talking to my friend, and she's like, 2,000 labels, I'll go in half with you. Sold. $3 investment, that will help me out. So it had been on my list for quite a while before I actually bit the bullet and bought those. So we've gone through everything that you really do need to start this business, and we've gone through my recommendations. And now I just want to talk about 3 other things that are to do with your growth of your business. So first up is pursue your interests. If you love CDs and music, you can make money there. Pursue that. Learn about it. Go ahead. Go for it. If you like books, go for it. Learn about bookfinder.com and go to book sales and really dive into it. If you hate books, pick a different category and really pursue your interests. Next up is increase your offerings and your categories that you expand into. I highly recommend starting off with books, starting off with new in the package CDs are very easy to sell, and office products. Once you've kind of gotten familiar and you're comfortable with those, expand into toys. Get ungated for other categories. See what else you can expand into. Not just in selling in categories and your overall inventory, but where you get your inventory from. You don't ever want to have just a single store that you go to every week because you're going to get burnt out there and things can change. I have several Value Villages I go to, Goodwills, St. Vincent's de Paul's, Ma and Pa stores, Catholic thrift stores, and then I do box stores. I do CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Bartell's, Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Marshall's, Burlington, Ross, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. So there's so many places that I can go shopping to. I just need to pick what I feel like going to and go and make it work. And sometimes it doesn't work, so I have to go shopping some more. But yeah, you get what I'm saying here. You need to increase both your offerings, the categories, and where you get your product from. Because what if one of those stores shut down? What if you only go shopping at 3 stores and you've been comfortable with those 3 stores, and all of a sudden Sports Authority goes under, and that's where you were getting a lot of your inventory from. Not that you would get your inventory from Sports Authority because it was pretty high priced, but you know what I'm saying. So, places go under, move, change products, change how they do things. Goodwill has started selling a lot of books online. So, some people say that they can't get books anymore there. So if your whole business is based off one store, you're toast. Okay, last, building up your customer reviews. When you start off, everybody starts off at ground zero. Everybody does. And that's okay. You're going to build customer reviews. You want to make sure that if you get any negative review that you fight it immediately. See what's wrong, see if there's anything you can learn from it and get it off your record, so to say. Once you start building up reviews, you get more of a reputation. People see that you're a better seller. You have more categories, you have more offerings. Customer reviews aren't built overnight. It's taken me over a year to get over 100 reviews. So, you get only a few a month, and you need to make sure that they're good reviews and people are happy with what you're doing. Check your return status. Make sure that, there's no other red flags going on in your business. Yeah, anybody can start up this business. Anybody. If you are disabled and confined to a chair, you can do this business completely online. There's a whole online retail arbitrage and reselling and sniping off of eBay branch that you can go off. If you love the thrift stores, there's a whole branch you can go into and just focus on that. You can do retail arbitrage and go into that. But whatever you choose, make sure you're loving it and it's interesting to you, and that you are doing it well. And by well, I mean you're getting a profit. That's obviously first and most important. You're enjoying it. That's very important as well. And your customers are happy. Because when your customers are happy and you're happy and everything's jiving well, you're having a really good time and enjoying your business. And I think that's what comes down to working from home and being an entrepreneur. It's very hard work. Don't think that you're going to, go out and find $1 million deals just laying all over the gutter. You're not. It's hard work. You have to scrounge around and scrape and skimp and build. This is not something that's an overnight get rich quick scheme at all. It's a business. So that's everything you need to start from the business aspect. But in running a business, you also need to think about your taxes and other just general running a business things. Can you afford it? Do you have health care? These are all things that I can't answer for you. I just laid out what you need for an Amazon selling account. But if you want to take this on full time and leave your job or add it to your job or whatnot, you need to really think of the whole aspect. Do you have time? Does it fit with your family? Do you have the mentality? Do you have the motivation? Do you have the independent self-drive to do this? And if the answer is yes, then this is a wonderful business for you. But it does cost a little bit of money to start up. It is time consuming. It's very hard to balance work and life and kids and all of that. It's not an easy path. So that's not meant to deter you. It's just meant to be real there. I do work with a CPA, so I do pay state taxes and I pay quarterly sales taxes. I have a reseller permit. I have an LLC. So these are all things that are on top of just the selling on Amazon that you really need to look at. And that's the same with if you were going to start eBay or you were going to start Etsy or if you were going to start a brick and mortar store. If you just want to be a part-time, sell some extra kid clothes on eBay, you don't need to worry about all that other junk. But if you're going to do it full-time, then you start need to worrying about the whole aspect of running a business and what the other government regulations are about that. Okay, I hope this video helped you. And it's meant to be very informative. I hope it's a little inspiring. I can see, there's a lot of people that can start this business with very little addition. But if you don't have a computer and you don't have a phone, it's going to be very difficult to do. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Am I missing anything? Go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I love checking that, and I'll try to add it in. Probably will, have other follow-up videos to this type of information. If there's something that you want to see particularly, go ahead and leave me a message down below. Hey, can you expand into this, or can you expand into that, or can you touch on this topic or that? And I will try to make a video for you. All right, take care, have a great day, and happy hunting. Good luck.